Hi, it's Dave from Moramusic Piano Lessons, and today I want to give a mini lesson on how to identify your chords and categorize them, label them actually, in such a way where you can find that specific chord that you have created by labeling anywhere on the keyboard. Now, most times as keyboard players, when we are looking for chords, we're obviously using our ear. Some of us use a little bit of theory and we build using root, third, 5, flat 7 or 7. We can throw in a 9 in there, an 11, a 13, right? And we'll categorize our chords that way. But for the purposes of this lesson, I want to show you how we can use intervals to see the structure of a chord and be able to label it or categorize it in such a manner that you can transfer that all over the keyboard, all right? So first, let's do a very quick review on what are intervals. Intervals are the distance, the measurement between one note and the other. If we start on C and we move to the very next white key, we have an interval of a second. We move over one more key, an interval of a third, perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a sixth, a seventh, and an eighth, or otherwise known as an octave. Beyond the octave, which is 8, we can also have a ninth, which is the same as your second. We can have an 11th, which is the same as your fourth, and we can have a 13, which is the same as your sixth. So 9, 11, and 13 are going to be beyond the interval of a seventh. Right? Once we pass the interval of a seventh, we now will call this a 9, an 11, and a 13. Now, why did I skip E and G? Because E would basically be a 10th, which is really your major third, and that determines the quality of your chord. And this G would become a 12, which is really your fifth, and fifths are pretty much colorless in a sense that we don't really need them in the chords. So we definitely need our root and third. Okay. Now the black notes. Our 2 can become a flat 2. Our 3 can become a flat 3. That's where we get our minor chords from. Our 4 is perfect. Okay, if we move it down, it becomes a major third. Our 5th is also perfect. If we move it down, we don't get a minor 5th, we get a diminished 5th, which creates the tritone. Okay, that's where you get all your fancy chords from. Okay, that's where you get all your 7th chords from. Your 6 can become a minor 6. Your 7 can become a flat 7. That's where all your blues and jazz chords come from, right? Okay, from that 7th. Your 9th can become a flat 9. You get that nice sound. Or it can become a sharp 9, which is that real funky sound. Your 11 can become a sharp 11. We're usually going to use that on a major chord. Okay, usually you can use it on a dominant. Okay, and your 13th can be a flat 13, and that will lead you into altered chords. All right, so that's a brief and quick review. So I hope that you didn't get lost. Okay, now here's how we're gonna label our chords. Rather than look at a chord and say, for instance, okay, I have this chord here. This chord is really a rootless voicing because the root of my chord is a G flat, and this is a G flat 7 altered chord, real meaty chord. Now, how can I identify that chord? Well, I can identify it using intervals. Okay, I have an interval of a tritone in my first interval. From here, from the B flat to the D, I have an interval of a third. Right, I'm stacking intervals. From my D, I have an interval of a major second. From my E, I have another interval of a major second. And from my F sharp, I have an interval of a minor third. Okay? My G flat 7 altered. Now I can transfer this chord anywhere I want on this keyboard if I understand the relationships of these intervals. Now this is a complex chord. I was gonna say a hard chord, but it's not really a hard chord. It's just a complex chord. I'll do a simple chord in the end. This chord is complex because it has a lot of color in it, right? A lot of sharp. You have your flat 7, your third, your sharp 5. Here you have again your 7th, but here you have your root, and here you have your sharp 9. So your third, excuse me, your flat 7, your third, and here you have your sharp 5, flat 7 again, your root, sharp 9. G flat 7 altered. Now let's take that chord. We can make a 7 altered chord anywhere on this keyboard using those intervals. Perfect 4th, major 3rd, major 2nd, major 2nd, minor 3rd. It's that easy. Here we go. Pick a note. That note is now my flat 7 of my chord. Okay? So, knowing that, my chord is going to be some type of a B. Some type of a B7 altered. Here we go. You have my flat 7. I'm going to go up a tritone. Diminished 5th. Okay? This would be my 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my diminished tritone. Okay? From there, we're going to have a major 3rd, major 2nd, major 2nd, minor 3rd. See how beautiful that is? This is beautiful. If you can grasp this concept, if you can understand what I'm saying, if you're looking at this, and if you can understand what I'm saying, this will help you to label your chords. You can play the chords that you find, the chords that you voice anywhere on the keyboard by just memorizing, in a sense, the intervals, okay? And that'll help you to label your chords, all right? After a while, it'll just be natural. You'll just be able to hit those chords because you'll recognize them visually. But when you're not able to recognize them visually, you need some type of a system. So this system of stacking intervals will help you to label your chords, all right? So we're labeling a flat 7, a 7 altered chord, all right, using the following intervals. Let's pick another key, a random key. Let's pick a G. Okay, I know that my G is going to be the flat 7 of whatever chord I'm building. So I'm going to be building an A chord. My flat 7. I'm building some type of an A7 altered. Look how easy it is. Watch. My G, I need a tritone, which is a diminished 5th. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my tritone. I need a major 3rd, major 2nd, major 2nd, minor 3rd. It's beautiful. Beautiful way to label your chords, right? After a while, you'll see this. You'll be able to play it, okay? Let's do one more in this complex one, and then I'm gonna break it down to a real simple one, okay? Pick any note. That B flat. That B flat is the flat 7 to C. that B flat, I'm going to build a tritone. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tritone. You flat the 5th. What do I need? Tell me. Major 3rd. What next? Major 2nd. What next? Major 2nd. What next? Minor 3rd. Beautiful. That's a beautiful chord. Right? Here goes your chord. Okay? Now let's break it down real easy. Regular minor 7. Okay? Let's say I want to build a minor 7 and my voicing is going to be this for the minor 7. Typical voicing for minor 7, minor 9 actually. Okay? Let's identify the intervals first. This is a D minor 9. Okay? We have building from the flat 7. Okay? We have a major 3rd, a minor 2nd, and a major 3rd. This is beautiful. Just be aware of my root note is D, right? You gotta be aware that this is your flat 7, so you know that you're playing a D minor 7. Right? Here we go. So what is my label for a D minor 7 in this particular voicing? Major 3rd, minor 2nd, major 3rd. That's pretty easy to memorize. Major 3rd, minor 2nd, major 3rd. Put your finger on any key. Go a major 3rd, a minor 2nd, a major 3rd. You know that this is your flat 7, which means that a whole step up is your root, and that's your B flat chord. We can play it here for a better sound. B flat minor 9 chord. Let's do another one. Put your finger anywhere on the keyboard. E flat. E flat is the flat 7, go up a whole step to F. So this is going to be some type of an F minor 7. How do we build it? F minor 9. How do we build it? Major 3rd, minor 2nd, major 3rd. Beautiful formula. Very simple. Okay? When you do this, it will allow you to label your chords in a way where you can start working on memorizing. Because ultimately, when you're on a gig or you're playing or you're in the studio or wherever you play, you can't be thinking minor 3rd, minor 2nd. You're going to get lost. This is for the work that no one sees. This is for the behind the scenes. This is for you labeling and categorizing your chords in a way that you're able to find them quickly. And then you have to memorize, right? Memorize those shapes, right? You have to memorize those shapes, right? You memorize the shapes. But to help you memorize them, pick a note. You play a major 3rd above it. You play a minor 2nd above that. You play a major 3rd above that. This is my 7th, which means that I'm playing some type of a D flat minor 9 chord. This works for any chord you want. Major, minor, diminished. Any chord can be labeled and categorized in like manner. Alright? So I hope this lesson was helpful for you. Leave your comments below if you have any questions. And man, just keep up the work. Do the work. The dividends will pay off in your playing as you build your vocabulary, your chord vocabulary. It will show up in your playing eventually, and all of this labeling will eventually become instant on-site playing of chords that will just make you a more confident player. Best wishes. Good luck on your practice. Talk to you soon.